Shalom, shalom. Um, Back with another video. This is Hayat Kadash.
Mayat Gabar.
Um, Topic we're gonna get into is that we not ashamed of the gospel, because the Lord He ultimately He didn't give the elect
What's up, Porsche?
the spirit of fear.
What's up, Porsche?
The spirit of fear. So we stand bold on what we know and what we was learned. First of all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rakah Kadash. That's the name of the Father, who the world calls God, and the name of the Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And the Holy Spirit is the Rakah Kadash. Give double honors to the apostles and elders that teach well and rule well, sealing the elect. That's the apostles and elders of GMS. And I'm going to give double honors to the Akim out there that's teaching this truth and sincerity.
Second Timothy.
Yeah.
Second Timothy.
1 and 7. 2 Timothy.
Yeah, that's it. Second Timothy 1 and verse 7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind.
All the way to 9.
Be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, nor of me his prisoner, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel according to the power of Yahweh.
Right. So we supposed to not be ashamed of the gospel. This is not the gospel that the Christians teach. This is the true gospel, that salvation is not for everybody. You know, and these Edomites, they go into slavery. We supposed to go out and preach against that. We supposed to go out and teach our people, you know, that we're the chosen people, and these other nations, they not to be partakers of the inheritance of the kingdom. They're to be our slaves in the kingdom, and we not to be ashamed of that. We not to be ashamed to say that we are part of this. We are part of this testimony. You know, we're not supposed to be ashamed that we are part of this hopeful elect. Read verse 8 again.
Be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, nor of his prisoners, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel according to the power of Yahweh.
Right. So he died for the nation of Israel, and we not supposed to be ashamed of that. He died for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Hispanic, Latinos, and Native Seminole Indians. He died for us and us only, and that's all throughout the scripture. And we're not supposed to be ashamed of that. Read verse 9.
Who have saved us and called us with an holy calling, not according to our works, but according to his own purpose and grace, which have given us in Mashiach Yahushua before the world began.
Right, because we was predestined. We was predestined to know this truth. We was predestined to go out there and teach this truth, because we did it in our past life. You know, because reincarnation is in the scriptures. We did it in our past life. We was with Yahweh Shah. We was the hopeful elect. We was part of him. We was part of that multitude that followed him. Ephesians, actually Isaiah 30, 20.
Isaiah what?
30
And what?
and 20.
Isaiah 30 and verse 20. And thou, the Lord, give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner any more, but thine eyes shall be thy teachers.
So I can get Ephesians first, and then go back to Isaiah. Ephesians chapter 1. Start at verse 3.
Ephesians what?
Chapter 1, verse 3.
Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 3. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord, Mashiach Yahushua, who have blessed us with a spiritual blessing in heavenly places in Mashiach.
Right, so we blessed to have the Rakah Kadash being opened up to us, open up to this truth. Like it says in John 8 and 32, truth, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So we blessed to have this truth, because this is among the average Joes out there. They don't know what the hopeful elect. They don't know what we know. So we blessed to have the Spirit, being baptized in the Spirit. We blessed to have that. Read verse 4.
According as he have chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love.
Right, so we read that again.
According as he have chosen us in him before the foundation of the world.
Right, so we was chosen before the foundation of the world. That's like what it says in Timothy. We predestined, we predestined, and we was doing this in our past life, because we was chosen from the womb. Verse 5.
Having predestined us unto the adoption of children by Yahushua to himself, according to the good pleasures of his will.
Right, like it says in the in one of the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, that who Yahushua has chosen, it can't be plucked out of his hands. So we was predestined. Read that again, verse 5.
Having predestined us unto the adoption of children by Yahushua to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will.
Right, exactly. So we was predestined to be Yahushua's adoption, his children. Just like it says in Romans 9 and 3, who pertain to the adoption. Really, these scriptures are for the elect. Ultimately, all Israel is going to be saved, but these scriptures in this present life, in this present kingdom, is for the elect to understand. The adoption, those children, those are the elect. 144K, and the women and children, verse 11.
In whom also we have obtained an inheritance, being predestined according to the purpose of him who worketh all things after the counsel of his own will.
Right, so we predestined. I'm going to get a preset of it. It says the same thing in Isaiah, that we predestined from the womb.
I got Isaiah already.
I think it's Jeremiah. I read it. Jeremiah, verse 1, chapter 1 and verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So we was predestined, and we was ordained to be prophets unto the nations. We was predestined to do this. So really, the elect, we won't be ashamed of the gospel. Isaiah 30.
Isaiah 30 and verse 20. And thou, the Lord, give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
So we given the bread of adversity, just like Yahushua, he was called the devil. He was getting thrown. They was throwing stones at him. They was doing all kind of things before he was ultimately to be hung on a tree and die for us. He was be hung on the cross. But before that, he was facing many afflictions, adversities. Just like we're gonna have to go through that too, because Yahushua did it. We're gonna have to do it too. You know, we're gonna have to go through Jacob's trouble. We're gonna have to be purified through those afflictions. That's how we get purified, by going through these trials and tribulations and afflictions.
And thou, the Lord, give you bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner any more, but thy eyes shall see thy teachers.
Right. So just like me and we was our first time going out to teach, we was faced with the bread of adversity and affliction. You know, because they pointed paintball guns at us, but we stood bold. You know, we stood bold in the trenches because we knew that Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah was with us. You know, His angels was guarding us. You know, we didn't run. We didn't run. You know, we stood bold like lions because that's just a part of what's gonna come with this truth. You know, we're gonna be faced with afflictions, trials, and tribulations, but that's just to test us. You know, test our faith, and to purify us. Read 21.
30 and verse
You
20.
You can read 20 again, then 21.
Isaiah 30 and verse 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
Right, we won't. We gonna still go out there and teach. We not gonna be removed. Go ahead.
But thy eyes shall see thy teachers, and thy ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, This is the way. Walk ye in it, when ye turn to the right hand, and when ye turn to the left. Keep going.
That was the end of 21?
Yeah.
That's it. Is there more on that?
No. No.
Read 21 again?
And thy eyes, Isaiah 30 and verse 21, and thy ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, This is the way, walk ye in it, when ye turn to the right hand, and when ye turn to the left.
Right, so just like us, before we even came to the truth, and we went on YouTube and we looked up the prophets, you know, we were saying, just like what that verse was saying, this is the way, you know, because our spirit bear witness, you know, like it says in Romans 8 and 16, the spirit bears witness with the scriptures. That's how we know that this is the way, this is the truth, because we know Babylon, the ways of Babylon and Christianity, you know, that's not right, you know, because Donald Trump, he's a Christian. You know, if he's a Christian and so-called black Spaniards and Native Americans, they classify themselves as Christians, how does that even equal out, you know what I mean? So Christianity and plus Christianity is going across the whole, everybody knows about Christianity. So how can that be the truth, you know?
They say the truth is supposed to be a narrow path. So if Christianity is number one religion, then you know that's not the path that he's talking about.
Right. Christianity, they pack the churches, you know, and they do it all for the money. But,
and also, if Christianity was the real truth, then what was the excuse when Joel Osteen closed down his church? Was the Hurricane Harvey?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he got that's one of the biggest churches in the United States, or in the whole country. So that proves that Christianity is not the truth, it's not the way. What do you want me to get?
Romans 12, verse 1. But like it says in Proverbs, I think it's chapter 1, verse 22, how long will you be simple, you know? Roughly paraphrasing. How long are you gonna be simple? You know, God loves everybody. That's a clean cut that God loves everybody. Because if you read the scriptures, He's only for the nation of Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And we're not gonna be ashamed to profess that, even to the coons of our people that love these heathen nations. We're not gonna be ashamed, you know. 12.
Also, not every nation is gonna look like they're not gonna be dark skinned. You got other nations that's mixed. Some like you got Moabites, the so-called Chinese people that could be Israelites. You got so-called
Uh, Edomites.
Edomites. You got people that look like Edomites. But the spirit will bear witness of this truth, and that's how you know if somebody's a confusion of faith.
And you got so-called blacks that look like. You got so-called blacks that are really Edomites.
Like Bob Marley.
Alright. Since you said that, let me get it.
Because we was mixed. We was scattered across all nations.
Exactly.
India, Pakistan, Hawaii, China, Japan. So you can't just, when somebody walk up to you, you can't just say, oh, he's an Edomite. You gotta let the spirit bear witness.
Right, you gotta test the spirit, like it says in 1 John 4:1. Test every spirit, you know. But like he said, we scattered abroad. I'm gonna get that in James real quick. James chapter 1, verse 1. James, a servant of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, to the Salakia. James, a servant, I'm gonna just read it how it's read. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. 12 tribes being the so-called black Spanish and Native Americans. We were scattered abroad, and we were scattered abroad. So we not just in America. We in UK. We in London. We in Greece. Like you said, Italy, China. We in all these places. So, like you said, you gotta judge the spirit, test the spirit. Get wrong.
Because the name Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, that's dreadful among the heathens. So you got to take that into consideration. You go Romans what?
12 and verse 1.
Romans 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service.
Right, so we're supposed to present our body as a bodily sacrifice. That's going out to the highways and hedges, you know, compelling our people in, facing the bread of adversity, like it says in Isaiah. Face that bread of adversity, that water of affliction. You know, we're supposed to go through all those things, like I said, to purify us. You know, we do these lessons to gain more knowledge ourselves and to teach the people. You know, verse 2. This is the point right here.
Romans 12 and verse 2. And be not and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahushua.
Right, so we not to be conformed of this world. Like I just heard the video before we did this lesson that like if you accept homosexuality, you think it's okay just to as long as they not doing anything to you, that's being conformed to this world. You supposed to hate it. Like it says in Psalms, I think chapter 90, I don't know, it's somewhere in Psalms in the 94, if I'm not mistaken, that if you love the Lord, you hate wicked. So we supposed to hate wicked. You know, we supposed to call it out. Cry aloud, spare not. Supposed to call out the sins of our people. Eating swine, be not conformed to this world. They promote swine on the burgers. They promote crab. They promote shrimp. They call that fine dining in this kingdom. We not to be conformed to this kingdom. Read that again, verse 2.
And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Right, the renewing of our mind is being baptized by the Rakah Kadash, the Holy Spirit. That's the renewing of the mind. You know, Christianity, they teach you to be dunked in the tank of just water, and you come back You know, but you still got the same mindset. You know, you think you're written in the book of life, but nobody knows who's written in the book of life. You know, so we read it again.
And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind,
Right.
that ye may prove what is good. Prove what that is good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh Shai.
Right. So we to prove what is good and acceptable. You know, homosexuality is not good. It's not acceptable. Following dietary law, that's good and acceptable. The Rakah Kadash, it reveals what's good and acceptable. You know, what's another law?
Like
Lining our heads. You know, the Rakah Kadash reveals everything.
like he said about homosexuality, or just period, that if you don't have, say you homosexual and you say you don't have a problem with it, as long as they don't do nothing to you, then in the world they call that guilty by association. So if you don't have a problem with homosexuality or somebody eating crabs or pork or whatever, then you guilty by association, because you're not making a stand for what's right. And what's right is the law that's in this Bible. And the law that's not in this Bible, you're supposed to make a stand for it. If you're not making a stand, then in Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai eyes, you guilty by association.
All right, that's just like if somebody did a murder and they ask, can they bury the body in your backyard? And you okay with it? That's being guilty by association.
Or you just driving in a car with them and they go rob a bank. Both of y'all going down. Everybody in the car going down. You guilty by association.
Romans 11:7.
What is it?
Romans 11:7.
Romans 11:7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeks for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Right. So the elect, the elect. We're gonna read that again.
Romans 11:7. What then? Israel have not obtained which he seeks for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Right. So the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Israel, some what they seek for, that's why they go to these Christian churches, because they seek the truth, but the elect, they receive it while the rest are blinded. The rest are blinded because that's from the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that's going to say it. Verse 8.
Romans 11:8. According as it is written, Yahweh Shai have given them the spirit of slumber.
Exactly.
Eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day.
So as much as we teach 2/3, as much as we teach Israel, Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, only some are gonna get it. So we're not gonna keep, like it says in Titus 3:9-10, tell them once or twice and then let them be. We're not going to keep antagonizing them about the truth, because only some of Israel is going to get it. And you're not more powerful than Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So if he blinded them, what makes you think that us little so-called humans, what we gonna do to change them? They gotta be blessed to be a part of this election. Read verse 8 again.
According as it is written, according as it is written, Yahweh have given them the spirit of slumber eyes, that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day.
Right. So they can't see what we saying. They can't hear it because they can't see the white man going down. he been in rulership for so long, they can't see it. You know, they had their heritage beaten out of them, the yokes around their neck. It destroyed thee. You know, they don't know who they are. They don't know that they're the chosen people. They don't know that God is only for the Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. When I first heard it, you know, it sounded, I had to get a lot more precepts to back it up, you know, but it all makes sense once you connect the precepts. Precepts are like, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. Once you get it, you don't know, the pieces are all scattered, but once you put them together, once you put the precepts together, you know, it makes sense. It's made plain. It's made plain to the elect. I'm gonna get that real quick. Lord willing, we keep doing what we're doing, and Lord willing, we part of that elect. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39, and verse 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. Man, that's beautiful. I'm gonna read that again. Sirach chapter 39, verse 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy. The holy are the elect, you know, because as it says in Colossians, man, Lord willing, we can get it that you know, the elect, they cleanse from the blood. The blood, when Yahushua, when he repented, when he gave repentance to Israel, he cleansed ultimately the elect from their sins. So, as it says in Sirach chapter 39, verse 24, his ways are plain unto the holy. Holy being the separate. The separate are the elect, because we understand these scriptures. So are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. This truth is a stumbling block to the wicked because they stumble on certain levels in this truth, and they can't get it. You know what I mean? Even people that's open up to Israelites, they even face stumbling blocks. You know, some people think that we not supposed to worship Yahweh Shah. You know, it's a lot of stumbling blocks to the wicked. You know, to the 2/3. This truth is a stumbling block. You read verse 8.
Yep.
You read that again.
Romans 11 and 8. According as it is written, Yahweh have given them spirit of slumber eyes, that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day.
Right. Verse 9.
And David said, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them.
Right. So the wicked, the wicked, the 2/3, you know, their table, their lot, it's a trap, because they gonna ultimately face death. The 2/3 gonna face death. You know, read that again.
And David said, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them.
Right. Verse 10.
Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back away.
Read it. No, just verse 10 again.
Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back away.
Right. Let their eyes be dark, you know, because they can't see the light. The law, statutes, commandments, that's light. You know, we're supposed to walk in that light. We're supposed to walk in that light. Let me get it. Because we are the light of this world. So, and we supposed to let the world see our light. You know. Read that one more time.
Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back away.
God. Romans.
That's like before you hear this truth, before we heard this truth, we was walking in the dark. It's like you got it in the room, and you're in the dark room, and you trying to find the light. You stumbling over stuff. You trying to find the light switch. But as soon as we hear this truth, That's the light. And now you can see in the dark like an owl. They can see in the nighttime and at dark. They got night vision. So that's the owl is symbolic to that light. It don't matter. We can see it in the nighttime or in the daytime.
You can read Romans, same chapter, verse 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Yeah.
Romans 4 and 5.
11, 4 and 5.
Romans 11:4. But what saith the answer of Yahushua unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
The elect.
Even so, then at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
Right, so at that time, 7,000, and at this time, he saved another remnant, that he's going to save from this destruction that's coming to America, and that's the elect. The 144K, the women and children, those are elect. 2 Corinthians chapter 4.
Second Corinthians 4 and what?
Start at 3.
2 Corinthians 4 and verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Amashiach, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them.
Read verse 3 again.
2 Corinthians 4 and 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
Right, so it's hid to the 2/3, Read verse 4.
In whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Amashiach, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them.
Right, so Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, he's blinded them on purpose. This truth going to be told to everybody, and he blinded you to destroy you ultimately, because he already, like it says in Isaiah and in Ephesians, that he already predestined who he's gonna make his elect, his prophets. The prophets, the elect, even though all Israel is going to be saved, the prophets, the elect, the 144K men, we're going to be the ruling class. We're going to inherit the kingdom. We're going to have first class, just like these Edomites, just like the Rothschilds. They got first class in their kingdom. The 144K elect men, we're going to have first class in the kingdom of heaven, a righteous kingdom. That was read verse 5.
For we preach not ourselves, but Amashiach Yahushua the Lord, and ourselves your servants for Yahushua's sake.
Read that again.
For we preach not ourselves, but Amashiach Yahushua the Lord, and ourselves your servants for Yahushua's sake.
Right, so we don't preach it for ourselves. We don't preach our own words, I should say. We preach the words of Yahushua, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, for his sake, to make our call and election sure. Keep going all the way to verse 9.
For Yahweh, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, have shined in our hearts, to give the light of knowledge of the glory of Yahweh in the face of Yahushua. But we have this treasure in earthen vessels,
Right. So this is treasure. This is spiritual money, and we not supposed to hide it. We supposed to bring it to the light. Let me get a quick precept. Just to better understand that. This is the book of Salaki. Yeah, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 20, verse 30. Wisdom that is hid and treasure that is hoarded up, what profit is it in them? Better is he that hideth his folly than a man that hideth his wisdom. Right, so we supposed to showcase our wisdom. We're not supposed to hide our treasure, which is this truth. Better is he that hideth his folly than he that hideth his wisdom.
Because this truth, we didn't find it; it found us. So we supposed to spread the we supposed to spread the word. We supposed to spread this treasure. Keep reading. But
the verse that you read again.
2 Corinthians 4:7. But we have the treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellence of the power may be of Yahweh and not of us. Keep going.
Right. Yeah.
We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair.
Right. So we troubled. Read that again. We troubled in what?
We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed.
Right.
We are perplexed, but not in despair.
Then verse 9.
Persecuted, but not forsaken.
Right. We persecuted for this truth. They call us evil. They call us a hate group. They call us all these names, but we're persecuted. Read that again. Scriptures say it better.
Persecuted, but not forsaken.
Exactly. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, he doesn't forsake his elect. Lord, really, we can get it in Colossians, but I get it. This is read that again.
Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed.
Right. And this is a precept. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect. See, read that again. Verse 9.
2 Corinthians 4:9. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed.
Right, so we're not destroyed and we're not forsaken. His elect, they're taken care of. Let me read Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 9. Again, they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. And this is the point. For grace and mercy is to his saints. His saints are ultimately the elect. Even though all Israel is going to be saved in this lifetime, in this kingdom, I should say, his saints are truly the elect. That's who he gave repentance for, the elect. Mercy is to his saints, and he cared for his elect. He cares for the elect. Jeremiah 17 and 18. You got your phone?
17 and 11.
17 and 18.
Jeremiah 17 and verse 18. Let them be confounded that persecute me, but let not me be confounded. Let them be dismayed, but let not me be dismayed. Bring upon them the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction.
Right. So these mockers, these scoffers, the heathen nations, of course, we already know they go into slavery. But also the 2/3, they mock and scoff us. They wanna persecute us, but they at the end of the day they're gonna be confounded. They're gonna be confounded. Read that again.
Jeremiah 17:18. Let them be confounded that persecute me, but let not me be confounded.
Right, we won't be confounded. We know the truth. The Rakah Kadash, it bears witness with us, so we know the truth. Even though they confounded and they call us crazy and all these names, we not going to be confounded. Finish off.
Let them be dismayed, but let not me be dismayed. Bring upon them the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction.
Right. Y'all got the wicked. These heathen nations, we're not worried about them. They're going to be destroyed. They're going to be going into slavery. This is their kingdom. But the wicked 2/3, they got to be purified through the nuclear fire, through the ICBM missiles. Destruction, when the destruction hits America, that's when they be purified. But the elect, we're going to be raised up. Lord willing, we part of that number. We're going to be raised up. We're not going to. Some of us might seek death, but we'll be back. But Lord willing, we don't even see death. But it's all according to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. 18:6. Jeremiah 18:6.
Jeremiah 18:6. O house of Israel, cannot I do with you as the potter, saith the Lord? Behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are ye in my hand, O house of Israel.
Right, so we in the hands of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Like I said, some may face death, some may not. It's all in his hands, The same way that some's going to receive the truth, some's not. It's all in his hands. He's the maker of the potter, and we just the clay.
So in other words, he's director, and we the actors.
Right. Psalms 25. Actually, you get Isaiah 30:3. Then Psalms.
Isaiah 30:3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Keep reading. Isaiah 30:3.
Yeah, get Psalms 25:3.
Psalms 30:3.
25:3.
Psalms 25:3. Yea, let none that wait on thee be ashamed. Let them be ashamed which transgress without cause.
Right, them that transgress without cause. They transgress and they don't think they're gonna have to pay for what they're doing. They got, because like it says in Romans 6:23, the wages of sin is death. So they sin and they don't think they're gonna have to pay for it. When the hopeful elect, when we sin, we feel bad in the spirit. We feel through. We feel like we got to get on our knees. We got to pray because our spirit, it just doesn't bear well with us that we in this flesh. We got to continue to seek repentance. You read that again.
25:3. Yea, let none that wait on thee be ashamed. Let them be ashamed which transgress without cause.
Right. So when Jacob's trouble come, the hopeful elect, we're gonna be laughing in that day because we know Yahweh Shem Yahushua is on his way. But the 2/3 that's living this life and they love this life, you know, they're not gonna be able to do the things that they usually do, and they're gonna be mourning. They're gonna be mourning and crying at that time. We're mourning and crying right now, and things is so-called all good for the 2/3. But once Jacob's trouble come, then we're gonna be living like how the 2/3 live now, and the 2/3 they're gonna be living how we live now. They're gonna be mourning and crying while we laughing, like it says in Job chapter 5 and verse 21. We're gonna be laughing in that day. Now you get Isaiah 33.
Isaiah 30 and verse 30.
30 and 3.
Oh, sorry. Isaiah 30 and verse 3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
Right. Just like America is so-called Egypt. You know, the 2/3, they trust in America's ways. That's why they go vote. You know, they vote. They vote for the people that's not even our brother, because our brethren, like it says in Matthew 12 and 50, are the ones who do the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So you trusting in the ways of America, trusting that they're gonna do something better for us, you know, but they're really not, because the elect, the hopeful elect, you know, we trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's our king. That's who we waiting to come back. We not waiting on Andrew Gilligan, wherever his name is. We not Oprah, Obama's wife, whoever her name, Michelle Obama. We not waiting on none of these people, because we waiting on Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's our real king.
Colossians?
Isaiah 29 and 13. Look up Illuminated. It's a verse on your phone.
You don't read Isaiah?
Yeah, I read it. Look up, read Illuminated. Just type in Illuminated. It should pop up in the Apocrypha somewhere. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 13. Wherefore, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me. Their heart being their mind. You know, they not follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know, they honor with their lips. Oh, I love the Lord. I love Jesus. Real name being Yahushua. They say they love the Lord, they love God. You know, but they not following the commandments. They follow the way they follow the commandments of man. That's why they celebrate these pagan holidays. They celebrate 4th of July, Halloween, Thanksgiving. You know, they do these feasts from the commandments of man, because we was taught these lies. You got that?
Let me read.
Which one is it? Something about light. Type in light and illuminate. Isaiah chapter 29 verse 13 again. Wherefore the Lord saith, for as much as the people draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men. Right, the commandments of men. Verse 14, therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their men shall perish, and understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. Yes, exactly.
Let me read it.
Yeah, sorry, verse 1.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of Yahushua. and the law that endure forever.
Right, so we put to keep the law forever because the law endures forever. In the kingdom, these heathen nations, these 2/3, and the elect, we all, us as a whole, we all gonna keep the law. So the law endures forever.
The heathens, they're gonna be forced to serve our God.
And if they don't, they gonna get their head chopped off.
All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
Exactly.
Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mightest be illuminated.
Right. We the real Illuminati because we got the light. That's where they get there from, illuminated, because they want to be the light. But they sold their birthright, the so-called elite. We the real elite. They want to be the Illuminati, but we the real Illuminati. We got the light. We're illuminated, and we're to show forth our light to the world. Read that again, verse 2.
Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mightest be illuminated. So we the real Illuminati. We the real white people. White means pure, and the so-called white people, which is Esau biblically, they black. They black. Black means negative, dirty, darkness. So these so-called white people, Esau, they the real black people. Everything that's in the Bible, they switch it around. They do a 180. Just like they tell you not to eat pork, or we need to follow the laws, they do the opposite. Not celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas, they do the opposite and celebrate it.
Exactly.
And just like how Yahushua, he was born in the month of spring, which that's a new beginning. And what they do, they switched it, and they say his birthday was December 25th, and that's the darkest time of the month. So let's let you know that they switch everything, 180.
You guys read verse 6.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because